Hi, today I have all four of my inverters hooked up. I've already shown you my 1100 watt running a microwave. Let's turn that off. I left it on. I have the little 120 watt plugged in. Unfortunately, I don't have the stuff to hook it up to the batteries, so I have to hook it up to my solar charger controller. I'm going to run the fan on 120 watt. Now, if you're going to run something on something that small, it really needs to be something that does not pull a real heavy load. I apologize, it's really sunny out here. Now, I do have the 400 watt inverter hooked up out here. I'm not really exactly sure what I'm going to hook up to it. You'll see I have an extension cord. Unfortunately, it's a small extension cord. It's real thin. I'm going to try to attempt to run it off of my big inverter on my microwave, my large microwave. Unfortunately, with the wire here being so small, the extension cord, I don't know what it's going to do. I've never ran it off of something this skinny before. Usually I plug it straight into the inverter. So we're going to see. Now I have my 1100 watt power inverter here. I have it plugged into this coffee pot. This is a brand new pot. I don't know if you can see the water level there. It's got about 7 cups of water in it. Yeah. Now normally I wouldn't use something like a coffee pot on an inverter and a battery pack unless you had a lot more batteries than just a 2. I wouldn't do this because it will draw the batteries down pretty quickly. It's already down to 11.86, 11.87, 11.78. So yeah, it will work. It will just absolutely suck the power out of your batteries. Let's check watts. 714 watts. Back on volts, 11.54 volts. And this is a brand new coffee pot. It's never been used. Like I said, you can run things like a coffee pot. I've already showed the 700 watt microwave running off of my 1100 watt inverter. So it's a possibility. It can be done. Alright, I've already showed this. If you're going to run something on a small inverter like this, run one thing. Make sure it's like a fan, maybe a laptop. I hooked this. I have it on a 10 amp fuse. In fact, give me just a second. There we go. I'll just hook that fan up to the 400 watt. I will not run it at the same time as my 1100 watt. I mean, if you have more than one inverter, you really should have it hooked up to separate batteries. But I had all four of mine hooked up. So, and I will show you my big inverter here. Alright, there you go. I mean, you can see the coffee pot's working fine, just like it would, like it is in the house. Yeah, it's definitely getting hot there. We're at 11.70. Seems to be holding steady at 11.70. Now let me see. I have not attempted to do this. I'm going to turn this fan on at the same time. There we go. It seems to be running okay. Now this is off 2 different inverters, the coffee pot and the fan. If you have a nice size inverter, you don't really need to do this. I could actually plug both the coffee pot and the fan into my 1100 watt and it would carry it without an issue. And it looks like my battery's almost dead. I apologize. So let's turn this off. Alright, turn this off. And hopefully this camera doesn't shut off. Set this down. Okay. I got it plugged in. I apologize, I have to come in the house. I just replaced the batteries in this, so I mean it is a complete piece of junk. Here is my extension cord. There's my microwave plug, so you know my microwave's off. This is a 1,000 watt microwave. I have to be careful. I'm standing on all this extension cord here. It's all over the floor. If I was going to run this off an extension cord, it would be a much heavier extension cord than this one. If I plug it straight into my inverter, it runs just fine. Unfortunately, this is a 15 amp extension cord. It's a little bitty thin $10 extension cord from Walmart, so it is a real piece of junk. I just hope this camera stays on. In fact, it looks like it may have shut off. I hope not. As you can tell, the microwave is running. Working just fine. And like I said, normally I would have this either plugged into a much heavier extension cord. I would have it plugged into an outlet with some 12-2 wire on it with a plug on it, something. I normally will not run this off this little bitty extension cord because it's not made for this. This is real lightweight extension cord. I use this basically for my cheap low end weed whacker. It's not even a weed eater. It's just like a trimmer thing, and it uses like 7 amps. So and this is the 100-foot extension cord, so it's really long. Now, if you have a larger microwave like this big one here, then you definitely need a larger inverter. But once again, if you have a 700 watt microwave, look on the back and it'll tell you how much it actually uses. I do that before you buy your power inverter. I got an argument with a guy about this. Now he's telling me his stuff is, I mean, it's just got under my skin about him telling people they have to have a 2,500 watt inverter for a 700 watt microwave. That's absolutely false. So I figured, you know what? I have my 4 inverters. I'll hook them up. I'll show you basically what you can do with them. And I apologize if the sound is off. This little camera just stinks. Once I check this, it goes off. We'll pull it out. I put it in for 3 minutes. I really didn't need to, but I wanted you to see it actually is going to do what it's supposed to do. Now, these are all modified sine wave inverters. Yes, if you have the money, definitely go with pure sine wave. If you don't have the money, modified sine wave is all you can go. Then that's what you need to do. Hey, jeez. I don't know if you can see that steam. It's really hot. I apologize. I still got some dishes in the sink from lunch. Just before my girlfriend went to work. Oh, and one more thing. If you're going to make your own cables, I advise, let me get some out. Alright, I advise that you, let's go ahead and shut this off. Oh, that one's still on. Thought I shut that one off too. Let me turn this on. Let's get the water out of there. If you're going to make your own cables, I advise you get, damn it, I'm dropping stuff here. Oh, sorry about this. I'm getting old and decrepit. I advise, one, you replace the terminals, you replace your nuts and bolts on your batteries. If you have marine grade batteries, it takes a 5/16 for the nuts and bolts, and well, not bolts, but the nuts and the washers. These are all new. Now, what I advise you do, if you're going to make your own cables, get 2-gauge cable, welder's wire. Get the 1/4 inch. Now, this is going to be too small to fit these. Now, the reason I'm saying get a 1/4 inch, a 1/4 inch hole, you get a 5/16 drill bit. And when you drill that out, it will fit snugly around that bolt and not have a lot of slack or open space. I mean, it'll fit snug. So, it'll go on there. It'll go on pretty easy, but it'll still go on there, so there's barely any room around that bolt coming up, part of your battery, to the center of this hole. That's a 5/16. Wait, I turned that on. I didn't turn my inverter on. Well, that was stupid of me. Wait, did I just turn it off? I just turned it off. Yep, I'm done. Anyway, when you buy a power inverter, figure out what you're going to need to carry, what you want to carry. Let's unhook this. Oh, I got wires everywhere. Move this out of the way. Let's see, there's was plugged into the fan. Here's my Cobra 2500 watt to 5000 watt peak. This can carry almost anything I have to run. Now, the only thing my 1100 watt inverter has not run so far is my larger microwave, because it pulls 400 or 500 too many watts for this inverter. So if you have a large, over 1000 watts or higher, yes, you need a larger inverter. But if you have a 700 watt, I've already shown this running my 700 watt, and you know, like I said, it's up to you what you want to get, if you want to get anything. For really small things, like just if all you want is a fan, like in the middle of summer and you're worried about the lights going out, this is the Lasco fan from Walmart, circular fan, and it ran off to 120 watt. Our laptop, my girlfriend's laptop, if you watch my other video, it ran her laptop. Personally, I would spend the extra money and get the 400, because not only do you have 2 plugs, so you could plug the laptop in there, plus you could plug the fan in there at the same time, or a light at the same time. So I would definitely go with a little bit bigger than what you may think you need here. Once again, the coffee pot's going no problem on my 1100 watt inverter. As you saw in my other video, the microwave 700 watt ran off of it, and my large 1000 watt microwave ran off my 2500 watt. If you have a larger microwave, definitely get a larger inverter. If you're on a strict budget, very tight, and you need something just to run, like your fan, your TVs, things like that, in a small microwave, I would get the 1100 watt. If you just want a laptop and say a fan, I would get the 400 watt. If all you need is to run a fan or maybe a light or maybe your laptop, it depends on what type of laptop you have, how much power it's going to draw, you could go with 120 watt. That's up there. I mean, see, it's going through that water just fine. But once again, if you're going to make your own cables, get 2 gauge welder's wire, get 2 by 1/4, and get a 5/16. Let me see if I can even get that in here, if I can find it. 5/16 drill bit. I don't know if you can see that or not. It says 5/16 right there. And drill these holes out to 5/16. And once you do, then it'll go just right over those terminals. So, and if you're making your own cables for solar, that's what I would do too. You get a much tighter connection that way, with less space, less area you have to worry about. Also, put a fuse between your inverter and your batteries, as close to the battery as you can. I have 2 A&L fuses here. Each one of these is 150 amp, I believe, or 200 amp. I can't really remember. But I wanted to show you what different inverters can do all at the same time. Unfortunately, the sun is really out, and this camera's battery is on 1 again. I replaced the batteries during my last video, or before my last video, so yes, an inverter will run a coffee pot. Yes, an inverter will run a microwave. Yes. And what you're needing your inverter for, both my large 2500 watt inverter and my 1100 watt inverter will run our fridge. So we could use either one of these. The 400 watt inverter, I'm really tempted to hook up my mini fridge and see if it pulls. I don't know if I want to do that or not. If I was going to run the mini fridge, I would definitely use the 1100 watt. Alright, that's done. Turn that off. In fact, I really think I would just run it off the 1100 watt. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and put this down. Pray it doesn't shut off. Damn it, it restarted. I apologize. I hope you could hear me. I was talking about my mini fridge. I'm going to attempt, if I ran my mini fridge, I would run it off my 1100 watt. What I'm going to do, since this already restarted anyway, and I got to resplice the video and splice it up, I'm going to plug it into my 400 watt inverter here and see what it does. Give me just a minute here. Okay, that's plugged in. I don't know if you can see that. I can barely see out here. The sun is just... Now, if I was going to run a fridge off that, I would definitely not run it that way. Alright, give me a second. I apologize for being dark in here. I didn't turn on any extra lights. I probably should have. Like, that's gonna do any good. We have a light. You can tell it's these damn LED pieces of junk. Alright. Here's the extension cord. Here's the plug to my fridge, and of course I put stuff in the way. Let me plug this in. Okay. And let's go out and see what this is pulling off of that little 400 water. I apologize for running back and forth. 13.4 is what the batteries are at by this. I hope you can see this. But this little 400 watt inverter seems to be carrying our mini fridge. Once again, if I had it hooked up to the mini fridge, I would have it hardwired onto the batteries. I would not be using these alligator clip plug things. I hate them. But it seems to be running the mini fridge. And that's off the 400 watt. Once again, I have to apologize for this camera going off. I don't know if you can hear it. Yeah. It seems to be on. So, if you have a little mini fridge, remember this is a Costway. It seems to be going just fine without any issues off the 400 watt inverter. But what I would do, if you're going to do this, I wouldn't run anything else. You know what? I've already got the fan out here. Let's see what this does. Okay. So this is the mini fridge and a fan. It's on 1, 3. And you can hear the inverter, the fan kicking on. Like I said, if I was going to do this, I'd run it off something a little bit bigger. Can you do it? It appears so. So, anyway, I'm fixing to go. And everyone have a good one. Bye.